Hello and welcome to the Clever Fox YouTube channel. My name is Ilysse. Do you ever get overwhelmed when you are looking at your planner trying to figure out exactly what to write down, how to fit it all in, and exactly how to use a planner? If so, then today's video is for you. I'm going to be sharing 5 tips on planning your week using my Clever Fox Hourly Planner Pro. I love this planner because it's really easy to see everything at a glance the entire week, from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to bed. So today's video is all about the tips for planning your week. Make sure you watch the whole thing so you don't miss any of the tips that I'm sharing with you today, and that you're subscribed to our channel with the notification bell turned on so that you get notified each time we post a new video. Let's dive right in. All right, so whether you are new to planning or you are a seasoned planner, this Hourly Pro weekly planner is such a great choice because it's a nice big size to be able to write down everything that you have going on in the week. There's space for priorities, work-life balance, work and personal to-do lists, even a habit tracker, and a weekly review. So this planner is undated, and we're gonna go ahead and get this dated. And then over here. Okay, so my first tip is going to be color coding. I talk so much about color coding, and it's one of my favorite ways to plan because when you look at a certain color, and if you use the same colors from week to week, you'll immediately know when you glance at your planner what each color is going to be for. So it's a really visual way to map out your week. So the first one that we're going to do is health and fitness, and we can write here, exercise 3 times. Then personal development, let's write down read every day. For romance and relationship, this is the week of Valentine's Day, so we can do plan Valentine's Day. Now, if you watch my videos before, you would know I am single. However, I do have plans on Valentine's Day. We'll talk about that shortly. Family and friends. This one is going to be, for me this week, niece and nephew sports. Now that's technically family and friends, but fun and recreation I'm also going to sort of categorize in terms of friends because I'm going to I'll label this as friend adventure. And then for spiritual, this of course varies by the person. The way that I'm going to do the spiritual for this week is going to be daily journaling. So now we have my categories color coded, and what I write in my planner that's going to relate to each of these categories will be that specific color. So again, at a glance, I know that if I see orange in my planner, that means that it's for my niece and nephew. The next tip is going to be writing down your set plans first. When you're looking at the planner, there's a lot of space in here, but when you actually look at the week and you know what you already have set, then you'll be able to see what slots you can actually put other things into. So I'm going to use a different color here that I didn't use in any of these. This is going to be for work. So I can take this yellow end here and put a couple of bullet points down here because we have my work to-do list. And if you want to see what color that is, you can just highlight it to make it really obvious that this specific color is for work things. So on Tuesday night, I have a work Zoom call, and I know that on Friday, I have a doctor's appointment at 8:30. So we're actually gonna block off 8 to 9:30, just in terms of driving to the doctor. I also know when I'm looking at set plans, right? That's what we're doing here, is adding in our set plans. On Wednesday, typically I take my lunch break from 1:30 to 2:30. So I'm going to put this in here as a block, and then I'm going to do that same block from 5 o'clock on till maybe about 8. Because on Wednesday, I'm going to take my lunch break, drive over to my brother's house, which is about a half hour away, and work from his house the rest of the day, and then watch my niece and nephew and go out to dinner probably and spend Valentine's Day with my niece and nephew. Saturday, we have some sports games. So I'm going to take this orange here and I'm going to block off the 2 sections of sports games. You can see that this orange and this yellow are a little bit close in color. So if that's too close, you'll want to, of course, choose your own colors here. But then we have one right over here as well. And then what I'll go in and do is just write basketball, and I'm just gonna put my nephew's initial there so I remember who the game is for, and then my niece. Okay, So Friday, I have an appointment. So I'm going to write doctor, and then we'll write the doctor's name and 8:30. In the red, you can do this with this side of the pen too. It's not about whether it's a thick pen or bold or marker. Then it's more about how it's working for you in your planner. So over here, I'll write drive to Josh's, and then we can go bold here. Celebrate Valentine's Day with the niece and nephew. And then over here on Tuesday, I have that Zoom call. Okay. So putting in your set plans is, again, really essential and really helpful, because then once you know what's already set, you can't make any plans that are going to go around those. The third tip is going to be time blocking your availability. So writing down your set plans is anything outside of your normal schedule. Time blocking your availability is being mindful of your normal schedule. So the first way, writing down your set plans is anything outside of your normal availability, and time blocking your availability is going to, we're gonna try it again, sorry. Writing down your set plans is anything that's outside of your normal schedule. Time blocking your availability is putting down your actual schedule so that you can really see at a very easy view what you actually have time for. So for me, I'm going to block out my working hours so that as I'm looking at this, I know that anything in these hours I can't schedule anything for. And not even just set plans and scheduling, but if I want to exercise, that can't happen during this time. If I want to read, that can't happen during this time. So it really helps to have everything here at a view so that you know what you can plan for or not, and how you're going to be able to reach your goals and everything that you want or need to get done during the week. So we'll block these out. Now it's going to be a little bit different this day because of my doctor's appointment. It's going to extend. Okay, now there's a couple ways you can do this. One is if you don't use your planner for work and you don't need your hours blocked, you don't need to know what you're doing each half hour for work. You could just do something like this and write down work with an arrow, and then you know that's all blocked off. If you'd prefer to write down everything that's set, you could use the other side of a pen, you could use the thick one, or you can do something else here. Like I know on Tuesday, I have a team meeting at 11. Not all of our jobs need to be planned out by hour, so it just really depends on what's going to make the most sense for you. So now that I know my availability, this week is looking very different, right? If we open up a completely blank week, there's a lot of space here and it can feel really overwhelming. But once you put in what you absolutely know is happening in terms of work and your plans, it starts to make a little bit more sense and give you the opportunity to fill things in a little bit. The next tip is going to be putting your work-life balance, anything that we didn't already include, into here. And the idea as you're looking at the work-life balance is ask yourself a question like, what do I need more of this week? Do I need more of exercise? What do I need more of for my health and fitness? What do I need more of for my personal development? So because I know that I want to exercise 3 days, we're going to start really strong on Monday and give myself this time slot from 7 to 7:30. Oops, I didn't mean to do it twice there in a row, but you know what? I've put it in my planner, so we are going to go for it. And then over here, I can write exercise. And this would typically include, depending on the workout, a workout and a shower, or maybe just a workout and showering afterwards. So don't block off your entire schedule and forget to include time for meals, for showering, for relaxing. Those are also really important. Sometimes when it's, what do I need more of this week? Sometimes we need more rest. Don't forget about that. So over here at the 8 o'clock hour, I can write, let's do AM routine. An AM routine for me would encompass shower, breakfast, making coffee, making my bed, brushing my teeth, all those things. Now, what I like to do is on nights that I have a Zoom call, I like to sleep in a little bit. So we're going to just keep this open for sleep. and continue with my AM routine. So again, our tip right now is taking what we need more of in our lives and how we've set our work-life balance and bringing it into our planners. This has to happen early on Friday because of my appointment. And on weekends, it's typically around 8 o'clock as well. I do not have the ability to sleep in. I wish I did, but I also am most productive in the morning. Okay, so now we have my morning routine in, and we can include some time for reading. So I really like to read in the 30-minute slot before my workday begins. It's a great way to kind of exercise my brain a little bit before work. And it's also a really great way to wind down after work. So I actually will tend to do that in the evenings, sometimes while I'm making dinner or after I make dinner, but I also really enjoy an evening reading time. It shuts my mind off to everything else that's happening and just gives me a really good focus. So we could write that over here, read. Now, of course, this is going to look different in your life, right? Depending on who lives with you in your home, if you have a spouse, if you have children, if they need to go places, if you have to drive home from work. I don't have to drive home from work. It's 15 steps from my office to my bedroom. So I don't have to include that in my day, it's helpful because I don't have to have a commute to account for. I don't have to really get ready for work the way that I used to when I had an office. So it's going to be different for all of us. So I'm putting this in over here. Again, you can just keep it as the color, or you can write in what you'd like it to be. You could even write what book you're reading. Instead of writing exercise, you could write a workout that you want to do besides just the generic exercise. Okay, now journaling. This is one of the things that's going to happen for me right before I go to bed. So we're going to put this at the last slot for each day. It'll be the same thing on weekends. So we can write in journal, or you could just leave it that color at all. And then the final thing that we are missing from my life and balance to-do list is my friend adventure. So as I'm looking at my week and seeing what my availability is and discussing with my friends, I know that I'm available Monday. I don't personally love doing things on Monday evenings. I am available Thursday evening. However, I do have to get up early for a doctor's appointment, and I'll probably be tired and maybe not want to go out on Friday. You could also use a sticky note for potential things, but really what's going to make the most sense to me is Saturday, because my niece and nephew's game, or my nephew's game here, is going to be close to where one of my friends lives. So from there, I'm going to go to her house and we will do our adventure. Okay, let's add this in too, just to really block that off. And let's write, Mel visit, and we'll add in here what the plans end up being. So now we have green, we have blue, we have red, we have orange. This could also be orange if I wanted to, but it's Valentine's Day, so we're going red. Friend adventure, we have that in here. I could even do maybe a possible slot if I decide to go out with friends. And you could do possible ones over here on the right side. And once that's decided on, you could shift it over to the left, or like I said, a sticky note. And then we also have this pink in here for daily journaling. Tip number 5 is going to be leave room. Sometimes when you're looking at a planner with so much space, you really want to fill in every single slot. And the biggest thing that I learned as I dove more into planning and figuring out what made the most sense for my life was giving myself the availability to leave room. If on Monday I can write down my daily goal and my top 3 priorities, but if I try to decide on Monday what my top 3 priorities are going to be on Saturday, I'm likely going to be setting myself up for failure, because number 1, there may be something I'm forgetting about. Number 2, there may be something that comes up on Friday that's a priority Saturday that I didn't even know existed on Monday. So leaving room in your planner, not scheduling every single half hour. Imagine how exhausting it would be to schedule out every single half hour of your life without any type of possible flexibility in there. So leaving room is really essential when it comes to planning. Okay, let's recap these tips. So tip number 1 is color coding your categories. Tip number 2 is writing down set plans first. Tip number 3 is time blocking your availability. Tip number 4 is asking yourself, what do I need more of this week with your work-life balance? And tip number 5 is leaving room for flexibility, for breathing, and for things that might come up throughout the week. Hopefully you found all of these tips helpful. I really enjoy sharing with you different ways that I plan out my week using my Clever Fox planner. You can pick up this planner over at cleverfoxplanner.com. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and you are subscribed to our channel and you have notifications turned on so that you get notified when we post new videos. Wishing everyone a wonderful week and happy Valentine's Day, and we will see you next time.